I kind of wanted to do a standing up video, and I was thinking about it because I have to be far away for me to fit in frame if I wanted to do it the other way. But I guess up close and personal ain't too bad. Hopefully when I do upload it, it won't, yeah. But basically, I've been kind of sitting on this video for a little minute because I was thinking about it. Okay. Thinking about it, and I felt like, not the standing up video, but the topic I'm gonna talk about, I felt like it would fit for today. You know, it's Valentine's Day today. I'm recording this video. I feel like, you know, just for the single people or the people that's in a relationship, might not be sure, I don't know. But I'm really trying not to edit this video because I know the moment that I end up editing it is when it's gonna ruin the quality of it. But basically, man, I had the problem with making videos is that I have a whole idea in my head. I think about what I'm gonna say, then I forget about it when I get to record the video. But basically, yeah. I don't know. The I'm kind of doing like a multi-topic type of video. It's kind of like the original idea that I had by itself was to talk about the nice guy syndrome, or basically the good people done wrong kind of thing. Because kind of piggyback off of my other video that I did about 2020. And I was also kind of thinking, you know, I feel like it goes with what I was thinking about today. I was just kind of thinking about uploading a video, but I wanted to tie it into this, which is basically like, I don't know, for the past couple weeks, I've been feeling like, you ever have a moment where it's kind of like maybe an out of body experience where it's like you say or do something, but and like in a moment you do it, you don't really think about it. But then like after you do it, you kind of think about it, but it's kind of like a spiral just going down where it's like it starts with one little action and then 6 months from now you're wondering what happened to you. And I feel like this past week I've kind of been on that little bit of spiral. Like, it's not depression per se, because I don't really, well, it probably is a little bit, but it's like I don't feel the normal sadness that comes with it, but I do feel kind of disconnected, kind of empty. Like, I don't know, you can just tell when there's a shift in your behavior. And I think it's kind of funny that I don't always talk about it, but since I was younger, I used to be, if you see me looking over here, I got the window open, it's raining. I like the rain. I feel like this kind of fits the mood of the video too. But I talk about how I'm interested in psychology because since high school, I've been talking to people about their problems, kind of trying to help people. It's interesting. I think there was a certain point where I felt like I had everything together in middle school, high school, and then when I turned 16 is kind of when it all started spiraling down, because that's when I got involved with my second to last girlfriend in 10th grade. And then pretty much, I've said this before, since I turned 17, I've been kind of going down the spiral. Well, I haven't been going down the spiral, but that's when I started kind of working on figuring myself out. And then there come points where it's like I'm clear, I know what I want, I know my motivations and everything. And now I'm 23 and I kind of feel like I'm still learning, but specifically this week, I feel like I'm going backwards. So it's like I've really been studying myself. Like I said, I used to study other people because of I used to look at their problems and what they had going on, and I don't really do that as much now because I don't really talk to anybody. So I say for the past couple years, I feel like I've just been studying myself. Like I've basically been having counsel in my head about the different things that I do, the different things that I feel, and that's why I've been so introspective and I've been able to like figure out a lot of things that's wrong with me. That's why I say I'm self-diagnosed because, I figured out I had depression, figured out I have anxiety, and then I kind of see the symptoms or thought processes that go along with that, and I'm starting to understand myself more, why I interact to certain things a certain way, why I feel a certain type of way, because I've been studying myself. So I feel like it's funny that the biggest thing that I've been interested in was psychology, and I've basically been, I've been my own test subject pretty much, because I've been seeing like my behaviors, things that I know I can change, things I need to change that would positively affect me. But like I said, this week has been kind of like a kind of spiral. Like I feel fine in most aspects, but I realized, like I said, I feel the emptiness and the disconnect. And part of that comes from just the stuff I've been dealing with. Like I mentioned this also in my last video. If you haven't watched my last video, you don't necessarily need to watch it to understand what I'm going to talk about. It'd be appreciated. But basically, I was going to tie this in with the good guy syndrome and the the nice guy syndrome, and just because it all deals with boundaries. That's what we're going to focus on today, kids, is boundaries. And I feel like this spiral that I'm going through would fit into boundaries, because it's kind of like setting boundaries for yourself against other people, as well as setting boundaries for yourself because in my last video, the biggest thing I mentioned was the last relationship that I was trying to work on. Long story short, it didn't work out because there wasn't enough respect towards myself coming from me and from her. And that comes from both of us being individuals that are still figuring ourselves out and working towards I'm working towards being a better person. I'm not going to speak for her, but I know that the biggest thing that came from me continuously dealing with that situation was low self-esteem. Like that's what kept me going, and that basically sums up all my past would-be relationships since I've been 17. I've had low self-esteem. There would be times where I would be confident, and then there would be times where somebody else comes along, and I don't know, well, I know what it is. It's the attention that draws me in, but I don't know what it is about getting that attention that seemed so much better than whatever I was dealing with before, because I'm one of those people, like I'm a loner, contrary to popular belief. And a lot of times it wasn't really by choice. It was just I don't really deal with people on a regular basis. So I just kind of said, I'm a loner because I don't deal with people. I'm by myself most of the time, so I'm a loner. Truth is, I like interacting with people, but at the same time, I kind of avoid it because when I was younger, I dealt with a lot of, I don't want to say pain, but I dealt with a lot of hurt from just dealing with the wrong people. Because, I'm based on my relationships, I'm the firm believer that most people end up leaving you alone by the end of the day. Because there was a lot of people I thought I was cool with, which, the more I learn, the more I grow, the more I realize it's those type of people had a specific, like school is the biggest example. If you happen to be young and in school watching this, a lot of people aren't your friends. You realize, especially work and school, you realize a lot of people really only deal with you out of convenience. For me, I felt like a lot of people, for a lot of people, I fit some type of need. Like a lot of my friends are girls, and most of the time they needed somebody that was either they needed an older brother figure, pretty much somebody that could give them advice that they wouldn't take, or just help out, give them wisdom, and that was pretty much the extent of the relationship. Me, I kind of took it as like the older brother with the annoying little sister or whatever. But I enjoyed it because I don't have a lot of friends. Like I have my brother, me and him have been friends for a long time. We've been friends since middle school. And then I had another friend, but me and her don't really talk like that. So I just kind of, it's whatever for that, I guess. And then I have like a friend group from work that I'm still friends with. But ultimately, I have a handful of longtime friends. And, a lot of times when the sadness, depression would kick in, or the me allowing myself to deal with certain things, the disrespect, I'll say, comes from the fact that it's like I guess I missed interacting with people. So it's kind of like, whatever. I will deal with whatever as long as there's somebody around and I don't have to be by myself. Which is ironic because now it's like I'm by myself and I feel fine. I still have my moments where the depression sort of kicks in, or like I said, I feel like I'm going through this spiral. But I know that at the end of the day, I'm gonna be better off by myself than trying to force a relationship with somebody who really only needs you out of convenience. And when I say the nice guy syndrome, for those of you who don't know, the nice guy is typically the type of person you will see him in like a movie where they're the guy friend that gets friend zoned, but he keeps doing things hoping that a relationship will come out of it, or modern terms, a simp. And I don't mean the type of simp like the people troll you when they call you a simp, and because you called a girl pretty or something, you're a simp. I mean the I will sell my house for you queen, show me them toes type simps. The person that'll never get anything out of this interaction, but will continue to do it sometimes in hopes of getting something. Basically, somebody without boundaries, I feel like. And I've been that person. That's why I say nice guy syndrome, because I've been that person. So I'm only speaking from my experience of being that guy. And that sums up, like I said, most of my relationships since I've been 17 has been dealing with people because A, they were pretty, B, they gave me attention, or C, they feigned interest, and it was enough for me to deal with them. There's been a couple different examples. Shoot, it didn't even really have to be relationships, friendships. It's a lot of people that I've dealt with in the past. And I saw this tweet that really is what sparked this video. I saw it a long time ago, but it kind of correlated. It was, they always say nice guys finish last, or lash. Yeah, that's right. Nice guys finish last, or good people are always done wrong. And somebody replied and said that's because good people don't have boundaries. And that is something I've been working on for a while because, for anybody who's seen my past videos, I've talked about being different stages of being hurt or feeling betrayed by people, just being depressed and being an angry little teen. Well, I wasn't really a teen. I was still in my 20s pretty much, but just being angry. And that's why I also mentioned that I didn't want to make videos when I was feeling the emotions, because before, when you come to a point where you realize that the way that your life is going isn't working for you right now, there's a lot of anger that comes with that. And for me, dealing with the type of people I was dealing with when I was younger, basically a couple years ago, dealing with those type of people left me very angry. the anger is a lot of times misplaced because in the beginning you're angry at the other person, which is funny because you're angry at the person that you still choose to deal with. We're not gonna talk about that. You're angry at the people that call you out for still dealing with it. You know you shouldn't be doing it. There's people that are trying to tell you that you shouldn't be dealing with it, but you're angry at them. Then you're angry at myself, at yourself, because at the end of the day you find out that they were right. And if you're me, you knew they were right from the beginning, but you're stupid. I'm not gonna call you stupid. You just feel like there's something missing. In my personal case, I felt like there was something missing, and I kept dealing with it against my better judgment because I wanted something that I honestly wasn't gonna get from them. Also, I'm still a virgin. There's the quote of, what is it, why buy the cow when you could get the milk for free? I believe that's how the quote goes. Basically, I was a cow, but I wasn't getting the right type of milking, if you feel me. And yeah, the last relationship that I've dealt with really was the last thing that put me over the edge. Not like that, but it was really the thing that's like, okay, pause on everything. Stop dealing with this type of stuff because you keep allowing yourself to be in these situations where you keep getting hurt and you know better. Like all of last year, I had to keep reminding myself, you know better. You know better. You knew this was going to happen. You know the thing that's going to happen. You knew better. You know these things. And that's not even with a relationship. That's just like certain things in general. I know how they're going to play out because it's a pattern. A lot of the people I've dealt with, there was a pattern or there was things that I would notice. And it's like you can't notice things calling out and still deal with them and then get mad when it goes exactly the way that you knew it would, when you knew it would go that way. So, boundaries. The biggest thing that can stop you from having boundaries, I feel, would be the self-esteem. Because when my self-esteem was lower, or when it got lowered, because I have high self-esteem for a bit of last year, and then it went down because I started allowing myself to deal with things. It was kind of like a breaking down of my character because, you got on the one hand, the one person that you're dealing with, disrespecting you a lot. You have the people that's telling you about the disrespect. And then you have you telling you that you're still dealing with the disrespect. And it comes to a point where you kind of feel like you don't know what you deserve. But it's hard to feel like you deserve better than what you're dealing with because you have allowed yourself to deal with it so far. It's like maybe, you just want to be wrong just once. You want to prove everybody wrong. And you, most importantly, you want to be wrong. You know that this is going to fail. But Lord knows you want to be wrong because maybe you will finally find that missing piece. And that breaks you. That is a lot of the reason why my self-esteem took a hit for basically the rest of last year, because it's just, you try, or you feel like you try, you feel like you've done a lot of different things, you've done what you feel like you can do, and it still doesn't work out, and you just hate the wasted time. But you always think of the what ifs. Like, yeah, I could be right, but what if I'm not? Or, yeah, this sucks now, but what if it doesn't always stay like this? And those type of thoughts are dangerous. Because, like I said, when you get to a certain point where your self-esteem is low, you deal with anything. And that's where boundaries come in, because you need to place a boundary for any relationship that you deal with in life. Because if you let anybody break those borders, then they will continue to do so. Because like I said, if you let somebody slide once, they start ice skating. The funny thing is, I was having a conversation with my brother about boundaries, like right before she started breaking them. He was like, you gotta set boundaries, you gotta let her know what you aren't willing to deal with before she start taking advantage of you. And in my head, I was like, well, it's kind of too late for that because I've kind of let her in fully pretty much. And then from then on, it started going downhill. It's kind of hard to, like, I'm not an expert at these things. So it's not really easy for me to explain the process of setting boundaries. Because for me, it got to a point where I just refused to continue to deal with the same things. And honestly, I want people to be better than me. And this is part of the reason why I make videos. I want you guys to learn from my mistakes. And my mistake was I continued to let stuff pile on and pile on and pile on and pile on till I couldn't deal with it no more. And that drives you crazy. Now, when you see people have a mental breakdown or they just become a completely different person, there's a whole murder show called Snap for these very specific things. It's people getting pushed past their breaking point. And for me, that is the only time I will ever not allow myself to be disrespected, is when I feel like I've dealt with so much. Because I've been in a constant fight between what I know and what I feel and what I think I know. So it's like I feel like I've always felt like there's certain things that I shouldn't deal with, but I also felt like it was acceptable for some reason. I don't. Does that make sense? Where it's like, you know that there's certain things that you shouldn't deal with, but you just feel like you should. For me, it was partly I didn't feel like I deserved better, or I didn't deserve better, or it's kind of like, if you don't have this, then what do you have? Which honestly is ironic because somebody taking from you more is losing that person isn't really, losing that person isn't something that detracts from your life. And even though I feel like I'm going down this spiral, I will never say that I miss being disrespected and being unhappy. Because after dealing with all that, after the anger that came from a lot of different things, there was a point where I actually felt like I was happy with myself. Now it's just because of the fact that I know I'm doing things that aren't taking care of my body. Physically and mentally, haven't been taking care of myself too much in that aspect. So I know where the problem lies in that. It's not from me missing anybody or from me not having anybody, because I don't want anybody. It's just me knowing that I'm not taking care of myself the way I should be. So it's just a little spiral right now. But I felt like this ties in with boundaries because you have to set places that you will not, in your life, there has to be things that you will not compromise on being yourself, and things that you just won't accept, even from yourself. And I realized that, I can't really expect anybody to respect me if I do not respect myself enough. And that's why, when I realized my anger has been misplaced, was understanding that. Because it got to a point where it's like, okay, what have you done? Wait, no, not what have you done. You have allowed this to continue going. So you can't be mad at anybody else when the person has showed you who they are, what they want, what they do, and how they feel about you multiple times. But you keep allowing this to happen. You keep allowing them back in to continue to do the same thing because you hope that they change, and they won't. They have no reason to change. You're not doing anything to change their behavior towards you. That at worst, they'll just leave you alone. Well, that's not even worse. At best, they would just leave you alone. It's like, why do you feel like getting disrespected is better than just being alone? Why do you crave attention from other people? The same people that when you get it hurt you more than you just being alone. And that's when I stopped being angry at everything. I didn't even want to be angry at myself. I wanted to, call myself out for what I allowed, but I didn't want to be angry about it because I also realized you set the template for the type of things that happen in your life. What you allow, what you accept is all on you. If you can't even have the decency to say something good about yourself, then why are you surprised that not many other people will? Why do your friends, your actual friends, say more good things about you than you say about yourself? Why do you always doubt yourself? And that has been something that's stuck in my head for a while because it's like I didn't love myself enough to really accept that there was better things out there for me. Even if I have to wait, even if I have to work harder towards them, there are better things out there for me. It's because I've been so used to letting everything pile on to a point that it just pushes me too far. It's like you don't ever want to do that. It's taxing on your mental health. And mentally, once you start getting messed up here, you start getting messed up everywhere else. That's why, sometimes I joke about it, sometimes I'm serious about it. I feel like if I ever were to die young, it would be because of how much stress I put on my mental. Because I always used to worry about every little thing. And if you could take a step into my mind a year ago, um, I don't even know. It's never been really to the point of me killing myself, which I guess I shouldn't say that, but I'm not monetized on YouTube, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. But committing not alive, it's never been to that point because I don't feel like putting effort into that. But it was to the point that if I did die, whatever. And that's not a good place you want to be mentally. So you have to set boundaries for how you interact with yourself. Stop looking down on yourself and stop being so negative. Because that's the biggest thing that crushed me was being so negative towards myself, because then you just start accepting negativity from everybody else because it's like, hey, you do it to yourself, why can't this other person do it? It's the irony is the fact that I'll talk bad about myself now, but won't really accept somebody else talking bad about me. I get frustrated at the idea of somebody even thinking negatively towards me because it's like, I've been doing this a lot longer than you. I've been in this shell for 23 years. You've known me for 2 seconds. You do not get to disrespect me, which I think is a step in the right direction when I have that confidence. I've also noticed that every now and then I end up feeling the anxiety has kind of started coming back. That's when I first started to realize that I was going down this spiral. I've been practicing the breathing in the moments, and it's just, I don't know, I feel like there's a disconnect somewhere because I don't feel like I don't really feel like I've been sleeping enough, and I don't feel like I've been breathing enough. Like I was telling my friends, well, my people at work, some of them friends, I was like, it's weird. I don't feel like I breathe enough. Like, I feel like I need to start studying, like, health. Because, like I said, physically, I don't feel like I've been taking care of myself a lot, just based on the things I've been eating and whatnot, not really working out. And I feel like mentally, I feel like I'm as fine as I can be considering the spiral. Like, there's negative thoughts. And, like I said, the anxiety has kind of come back, but it's not as bad as it's been before. And I think that's good because there's been times where it's been terrible. But right now it's just physical. which is starting to get up here, but it's not, like I said, it's not as bad as it would be. And I think I mentioned this before, you can kind of tell when my mental health starts deteriorating because of my hair. Like, honestly, I didn't pick it out. I literally just put water in it. That's it. You can't really see it, I don't think, because it looks smoother. But I start letting all of this grow out. Like, I kid you not, I literally had a conversation with myself last week. I was like, okay, my hair is starting to grow again. I was thinking about keeping it low, but I don't know, because the conversation I had with myself. Okay, my hair is starting to grow again. I think I want to go back to the low cut because I got patches in my head from when I tried to cut my hair and messed it up. Just realized the other day that there were other razors with the razor I had that could have cleaned me up better than the one I was using, but I didn't study it enough. And I'm kind of in the spiral of, do I want to study this and ruin my hair even more, or do I want to just leave it to the professionals? But I was thinking I need to probably cut my hair, but I could get a tape up and just get evened up, because I think that was the problem with me growing my hair out before. I didn't get a tape up, I just let it grow, it look a mess. And then I was like, okay, if I do the tape up, do I want to line up my mustache and everything? Do I want to let this grow? Every now and then I like letting this grow out because I feel like it looks good till it doesn't. And then I cut it and then I don't like it too much, or I do like it, or I miss the fact that I didn't have hair. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna book my appointment to get a tape up. I'm gonna get my face too, because I'm pretty sure, I like cutting my little hairs off, because I feel like when you can see my face without all the hair that's on it, I'm cute, whatever. So I'm gonna do that. Book the appointment. No, originally booked the appointment for a haircut. I was like, okay, I'm gonna cut my hair, call it done. Canceled it, and I was like, no, I don't want to cut my hair. I want to do a tape up just to see where that goes. So I get my hair cut. I might not like it, because I think I'm gonna just get a fade on the sides and keep the hair up top. But I don't know, I might not like it, so I'm gonna just get a tape up, see how that goes. Do I want to tape up with the face? Yeah, I'm gonna get the face taped up too. So I'm gonna do that. Next day I canceled it. I was like, I don't even want to go through all the effort of having to get an Uber to the barbershop, pay the $30 or whatever. It actually would have been like 20 or whatever, but pay the expensive amount to get my hair cut. Have to pay for another Uber back home. I don't really have money like that. I've been trying to get into buying figures a little bit, so I'm not really trying to spend too much money on that. I'm supposed to be practicing driving, so once I start doing that, I'll probably get a haircut. But do I want a haircut though? That's literally the concept that's going through my head. That's why a lot of times I just let my hair grow, because I don't feel like going through the mental process of, well, now I don't really like it, or man, I wish I had hair. And it's just like, it used to be where I let the hair grow in my face, because it's like, oh, it's kind of cute, it's rugged. And now it's just like, you're not really trying to take care of yourself. Which again, boundaries. I always think about when I was in history class, I think my 7th or 8th, no, it was in high school, my 10th grade year. I was in history class and we were talking about soldiers. I don't remember which war or whatever it was, but I remember the one thing that stuck out to me was the fact that they said, like, soldiers on the battlefield, they would find something. We were watching a movie or something. They would find something to shave with, because, after all that chaos and stuff that was going on, they needed to feel human. So they would shave their beards. And that always stuck out to me, because I feel like if I'm letting it grow out, which honestly, I'm not going to grow a beard. Like, you can tell, if you see me in person, you can tell there's like hair that wants to connect, but it's not going to connect. I could let this grow for months, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to look like much. Honestly, I just might at this point bump it. But I've noticed that letting this grow out is in correlation to my mental health. When you feel like you don't look good enough, you don't start feeling good enough. And I noticed that when I get to that point, I kind of take a step back from everything. Like the feeling disconnected and stuff like that comes from the fact that a lot of times I don't want to be a part of anything. Like it used to be a positive, I don't want to be a part of anything, because dealing with the stuff that I dealt with last year, I don't really want to be involved with too many people and doing things for too many people because it hasn't worked out for me. And I'm kind of, I'm wiser in the sense that I know who to deal with, who to consider a friend and whatnot. But I don't really feel like being involved with people because my constant need slash want for being involved with people was the what got me to where the mental depths that I've dove into over the years. Most of my low self-esteem and most of my depression has come from basically beating myself up emotionally for dealing with different things I shouldn't be dealing with, and it hasn't worked out for me. That's why I want to take this year to be by myself and be myself and do different things that will make me happy regardless of how other people feel about it. Mostly me. I need to start feeling better about myself, which again, like I said, is where the boundaries come from. You don't want to let yourself slip. You don't want to talk negatively about yourself. You don't want to let other people's negativity get towards you. Just things, it's basically what you want to focus on and not letting negativity in. So when I say boundaries, I don't know why it's such a weird concept for me to try to describe boundaries, but it's basically just not allowing anything that doesn't benefit you or help you prosper in any sense, keeping that away and blocking it out. My biggest problem, like I said, has been I let too many things in. And funnily enough, I realized that when I started dealing with my last relationship, the biggest problem I had from the get-go was the fact that I started letting their problems become my problems. And that's when I realized I do that a lot. If somebody else feels sad, I feel sad for them. I kind of realized this the other day too. It's like I care about my friends, I care about people, but I can't let everything drag me down. And I'm not saying that caring about people drags you down, but what I am saying, if you care about people the way I used to care about people, then it will drag you down because you constantly start worrying about them. The other thing that comes from that is, for some reason, I felt like everybody else was more important than me, which is another reason why I fell into the simp category, because I don't know. It's like people would do the bare minimum for me, and it's like I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure that you are good, even though you don't deserve it. That's the irony of it. But you have to put yourself first. You have to figure out what you can and can't deal with, and then keep that in mind for the rest of your life. Because there was a lot of things I allowed myself to deal with that I shouldn't have allowed myself to deal with. But I also feel like if I would have set the precedent from the beginning, then I would have never dealt with it. Because I started to believe in, if you get disrespected one time, that's not on you. Somebody felt like they can play with you, and everybody makes that mistake, and you let them know that this ain't gonna work. That's it. See, I was the person that, what they say, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. I was the fool me 377 times, shame on me, but there might be a 378th in your future. And yeah. So, I've been learning, basically I just wanted to, I felt like this would be a good video for Valentine's Day, for the single people, like I said, or the people that are either in a relationship they're not happy with or thinking about whether or not they should be in a relationship. I feel like this is the biggest thing you have to learn before you can be with anybody else is yourself. how you operate, what you can and can't deal with, and what boundaries do you set in the beginning. Because you shouldn't have to wait for somebody to naturally respect you. You should set boundaries so that they have no choice but to respect you. Because if you have people in your life that really respect you, they will respect your boundaries, and they will set their own boundaries in a relationship or whatever. But it shouldn't be somebody else dictating everything that you allow yourself to deal with, if that makes sense. Based on my inability to explain things too properly. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this. But you shouldn't let other people have power over your life. And that was something I constantly did. Even now, I still kind of feel like there's only a handful of things I can control for myself. But I'm learning that if I can take control of those things, that's all that matters. You can't control everything that goes on in your life, but if it's the little things that you can, focus on that. Everything else will sort itself out, or you might be more able to deal with certain things if you have a grasp on the little things that you have control of. That's when you can start taking more responsibility. I want to say it, but if that makes sense. So, yeah, this has been a long-winded video. Of course, you always get that from me. But yeah, boundaries. This continues my journey of figuring myself out and what I want to do with my life, and where I've gone wrong up until this point, pretty much. And like I said, I hope this video, or this collection of videos that I continuously do throughout the years, will help other people out. Like I said, I don't want anybody watching this to make the same mistakes that I made. Set yourself up better than I did. Because I had the people there to tell me these things, but I didn't listen. That's a problem when you're someone like me. You're hard-headed. It's probably a Sagittarius thing. I have a friend that basically he's going through the same thing that I'm going through. So, I'm a little frustrated with him because it's like I've seen all the things, but not everybody's situation is the same, but his situation is a lot like mine. But you just, you also have to realize you can't help everybody out, which was another problem I had. I like helping people too much, more than I help myself. I'll end up where I've been ending up before. Regardless of the fact, you can't help everybody. Not everybody will listen. But what you have to do is be okay with not being able to do everything for everybody, especially if you don't do everything for yourself first, which, is where I'm at. Focusing on myself more. Again, doing things for myself. But yeah, that's the end of this video. If you liked it, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know how you feel about these type of videos. Hopefully this video doesn't get cropped badly, because I will throw the whole video away and I will not be happy. And also, 2 videos in 1 month? Who am I? What's going on with that? Anyway, yeah, watch my other videos. Preferably watch my last video. Y'all ain't really been messing with some of my videos, but the irony is the fact that my most popular video was my Budokai 2 video where I played Videl. I just think that's funny because my setup was terrible. Like, I can literally record off of my PS4 now, and people won't watch those videos. But when I was taking my phone to put in front of the TV to record the TV, those were some good videos. I tried, and I don't know, I feel like I want to do more retro games. Like I said, I do want to do Twitch, do some gameplays and stuff like that. Like, I'm not complaining or nothing, I just think it's funny. But yeah, I want to do more things for this channel than just videos, but I also want them to be meaningful. So I'm not just going to throw out a video that I don't feel like should be watched, or I'm just kind of forcing a video out. Which is why I feel like my channel was more popular in the beginning, because it's like I had ideas and I did them like every day. Like, I don't know what it is about, when you're younger, it's like you can do so many different things work ethic wise. Like, I would go to work, come home, record a video, or take the time off, record a video, record like 3 different videos. Or I recorded a video, I had to separate it in 3 different parts, upload each part each day. It's like, wow, you had so much dedication. Like, it's not really hard. Physically, it's not really hard. Mentally, I'm just not all the way there. And I don't really have as much ideas. I had that young vigor for when you first start a project, and then I kind of lost that motivation. And then I'm kind of like gaining it back, but differently, if that makes sense. I keep saying if that makes sense. That's that self-judgment, not trusting myself to be able to properly convey an idea. But we're not going to talk about that. Anyway, that's all I got to say for this video. I done talked enough. It's 46 minutes long. Yeah. Follow me on my social media, which I really only post my Twitter, because that's the only thing I get on. I post my Twitch because I plan on going on Twitch one of these days. I might just do it without the camera. Once I figure out how I can stream from my PS4, I'll do that. Maybe play a game, do it like a little test stream, then see how my webcam fits into that when I get the, what's that thing? The capture card. Once I get the capture card. And once I get a capture card, I can play my PS2 again and play some games. So I might do that. I would play my Xbox and play Left 4 Dead, but my controller is dead. Like, it literally does not turn back on. So I would do my PS3. My PS3 is so slow. Anyway, that's it. Like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe. If you like the video, let me know you like the video. If you like more things like this, or I always say if you have questions for me, let me know. I'll do a video on them. Nobody asked me questions, so hence why I just do topic videos myself. I might do more videos where I'm thinking about researching things. I might do videos and talk about what I learned, whatever. I want to do a lot, because I want this to be a kind of variety channel where I just do things. So I have a place to talk about different things that I'm obsessed with. Like, I have a video that eventually I might upload. It's going to be kind of wonky because it was testing something out and it's just weird, but there's a video that I'm probably going to upload. And I like those type of videos. It was a little figure video, but I was talking about the backstory of the figure, and it's like, I like that feeling I got of just being able to talk about it. So I might do something more like that. We'll see. Anyway, I'm out. Wait. Yeah, that's it. I'm out.